All right, let's do a few things. Got to share this. Share it to my Twitter. Oh, why does it do that? Okay. I'm live. It's off, but that's fine. Good morning, true art believers. This is Pierson, and you are going to watch me paint. Obviously, you're not going to really see me. You're going to see my hands. So what I'm doing today, don't mind the shaky get up here. I'm only going to spend 10 minutes, and I can't really spend a large amount of time painting in this fashion because this painting is rather large, and I'm on an actually pedestal standing on this, and I have this this camera on top of the pedestal, so it's quite unstable. So all I'm doing today, and what I've been doing lately, is just working on circles, and believe it or not, circles are kind of difficult to do them well. And I haven't been doing them that well, but I've been doing them well enough that I'm satisfied with the process. And what I've been using is Sign Painter's One Shot lettering enamel. And I was using regular oil paints for the black circles, but I decided that I wanted a shine to my paint, and I'm not sure on this, but I believe that the lettering enamel will not flake off like acrylic because it's not water based. As a matter of fact, I think part of it is quasi oil based. Again, don't quote me on this. So that's why I'm using it, because I've heard about other artists using lettering enamel on their oil paints, and I even heard instances where they what do you call it? Where they what do they do? Man, I'm drawing a blank. Where they mix the paint with oil. So there's that. Some of the challenges I have, like I like this lettering paint. It's actually made me go a lot faster on these circles because it's more viscous. But to some extent, it's actually a little too viscous. If you apply too much of it, it can start dripping downward. So you got to have just the right amount each time. And I always tend, when I paint, I tend to paint rather thick. So because of that, I always struggle. Another thing about this paint is I think I probably should be wearing a mask because it is quite pungent in the smell department. Some of the things that I need to start doing is I need to get an air filtration unit here to purify the air. Like, even though it's pretty well ventilated, I have a dehumidifier that sucks in air and it has a filter, so that kind of helps maintain consistent humidity in my studio. But I really need a means to have cleaner air in my studio, and I think that's one of the next steps I'm going to be shooting for. Again, I'm only painting through these live videos for about 10 minutes because I need to stop saying but I need to focus for the remaining 80 minutes and work on this piece without distraction. I find that when I was doing these videos, I was very distracted. I don't like the camera right next to me, and not that I don't like it, but like it definitely gets in the way because it's right next to me, and it's in my area that I hold stuff. and it's going to be quite difficult when I start changing my mode of painting. And what I want to be doing in the future is to save time is I want to have a palette in my left hand, because I don't normally paint with my a palette in my hand. I have a palette to the side of me, and these paintings are getting so big that it's getting kind of annoying to step down, mix paint, and then go up and make, and then paint again. So I need to save time and have the palette right at hand, and that's going to be a learning process, because I have not. I've always been in a position where I've painted with a palette that wasn't in my hand, and I'm able to do the color decisions that I need. Where I'm not compromising one of my arms. So when I use a palette in my left hand, it's going to help, but it's also going to be a learning experience for me. It'll be nice to be able to mix paint without having to step down from a ladder essentially, and then mix my paint quasi off-site. And I'm talking about merely a couple steps, because I got to step down a little platform that I made, and yeah, so I got to step down and work on it, work on the color away from the painting. So I need to be more active with my painting. I don't like getting during these videos. I don't like doing these details, these curve forms so far away. I like to be a little bit closer, but I don't want to have my face blocking the camera. So I've been kind of like feathering the edges. Another thing that I like kind of about woodshot, although it does have its downsides is that it paints on pretty opaque. So it paints on pretty opaque, and I like that. So this is making me think a lot. I'm thinking about going to Home Depot or Lowe's, or some specialty paint shop, and then have them make oil-based house paints for me, because from my understanding that you can they're high quality, or like high quality oil-based paints that people use to decorate walls. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for an oil-based paint that has the consistency of house paint, but the quality of fine art paint. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, is because I like one shot, but I'd rather it be the same chemical makeup of the rest of my painting, simply because I think that like components bond together better than unlike components. Hence why you're not supposed to put acrylic paint on top of an oil paint, because although it bonds to the surface in the acute, through time it wears off, because the oil pushes the water off the surface. And since enamel's not water-based, at least I assume that it's not water-based. So since I'm talking, these circles are kind of like a little jagged. But another thing that I've been doing is, because I've been doing 90-minute bouts of painting, I've kind of relinquished myself and resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to make mistakes, and it's helped me move my painting faster, because when I would paint for longer periods of time, I find that I would, since I had more time to work on my painting, I would backtrack and correct my problems or the errors that I made, and I'd spend a large chunk of that time basically removing paint that I made a mistake on. And so this has helped me subconsciously to kind of relieve myself of these errors, and then move on. And it's nice because in the whole scheme of things, like, I don't necessarily care that the lines are the circles are kind of off. I care at the moment, and then when I walk away from the painting and just start moving forward, I don't care as much. And if it bothers me later on, I'll correct it, or I just can't. So that's time. I want to thank anyone that's actually stopped by, although it's pretty early in the morning to be watching people paint. But I'm going to post this now, and if you like, follow me at Matt Pierson Art on Facebook, Matt Pierson Art on Instagram, Matt Pierson Art at Twitter. You can also look at my website for more work at www.mattpearsonart.com, where I have watercolors that I've been working on in the evening, which are turning out to be quite nice. You can buy prints from them. You can buy, gosh darn it, you can buy prints of said watercolors at my site, and I think they go up to like 20 to 30 inches, which is quite nice. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your Saturday.